I said a lot of things. Hey everybody, welcome back to the series Cinematically Late, where I talk about movies and shows that I maybe have missed for whatever reason, or I have seen, but just haven't gotten the chance to talk about. Today we're talking about the phenomenon that swept across Disney Plus, as well as the world on Broadway, or Broadway in general, and that is Hamilton. Now let me start off by saying I had just about zero interest in Hamilton. But just the sort of the phenomenon of what people said about it, how much they loved it, I got a little bit swept up in that. Now, I am a big proponent for not judging a product or a movie, book, whatever, essentially by its cover. And that was very much happening with Hamilton, where a lot of hype was being built up for it. And I kind of didn't want to be disappointed by it, mainly because it was so hyped up. And I, in a way, just a small part of me, and I know this is bad, wanted it to kind of not be as good just because there was so much hype about Hamilton. But luckily, I watched it and I loved it. Hamilton has to be probably one of the most interesting stories ever, and I never really realized it. Of course, growing up, I knew the history books that Hamilton was shot and killed by Aaron Burr, that he was part of the founding fathers. But really, you don't know much about Alexander Hamilton. And Lin-Manuel Miranda really brings that story. He based it off of a book. I don't remember the author. Please forgive me. I'll put it down here somewhere. But he based it off of a book, and this was fantastic. The music was fantastic. The acting and singing were fantastic. I have to say, this is going to be point number one, that this is probably the most talented cast in terms of a Broadway play, or at least plays in general, probably even movies in general, that I've ever seen. It had stunning singing, stunning acting. I think every single character did so great. I have zero complaints, and that really doesn't happen often. Usually there's that one character that sort of sticks out or just doesn't seem to fit that well. Not on Hamilton. This cast was absolutely phenomenal, and I have nothing bad to say about them. And that leads me into point number two, which I kind of already said, which this movie, or this show really, lives up to the hype. A lot of it is, I felt like people were just maybe overhyping it and saying how good it was, how catchy it was. But me and my wife have been singing the songs since we watched it because we enjoyed it so much. Completely blew us away. And although it is long, roughly about 3 hours, there is a very short intermission, but it is totally worth the watch. I highly recommend it. It will fly by, and it's so much fun. Not only the singing, the storyline, just the characters sort of interacting and having that fun. It's just, you can't take your eyes away from it. It is just such a engrossing experience that you just can't tear yourself away from it. And I recommend, if you haven't watched it yet, at least give it a try. Even if you're not a big theater person or anything like that, I highly recommend you check out Hamilton. It might change your mind. Now, there's plenty of praise about this Broadway show. It's won like 11 to 15, I think, somewhere in there. Tony Awards, which is the awards for Broadway and musicals, things like that. I hands down believe it deserves every single one of them. But what's interesting, and this is going to be my third point, is that I feel like this could be the cusp of something new for entertainment, in which in a post-ish pandemic world, that because we may be scared to go out to theaters to see a live show, although they are fantastic, this may present the option to maybe have a recording of them and then put them out for home media. Now, they have done this in several other musicals. I know like Shrek the Musical was on Netflix for a little while. There have been a couple iterations of stage plays recorded and put out on various streaming platforms, but I think this could be the start of something else. If maybe like Wicked, or, maybe not Cats, because that one ended and then they had the movie version, which I still haven't seen that. But maybe like Phantom of the Opera is a great movie. It's an okay movie, but like the theater experience is fantastic. If they did maybe a version of that, I think that could be really successful. If they continue to make these sort of stage plays into something that people can consume at home, a little bit more comfortable, not having to worry about sitting next to someone you don't know in this sort of post-pandemic world, it could be a little bit more comforting to enjoy the arts in a more home setting. And I think that could be really interesting. Not really ending Broadway or musicals, still keeping them very much alive, but having them more in a movie format so that people could still enjoy it for what it is, just not big budget like movies. It could really be the future of movies as we know it. So we're going to kind of keep this one another short and sweet. There's just not really anything bad to say about Hamilton. Wonderfully produced, wonderful music, wonderful acting. Again, nothing really bad to say about it. I had a really good time. It is definitely worth giving it a try. Even if you're not into this genre of musicals or live performances, it's worth a shot and I highly recommend it. It's only going to be the one-time view if you do only watch it once, but a lot of these songs, at least in my experience, got caught in my head extremely easily, and I've been singing them since I watched it a few days ago and I haven't been able to stop. But really, those are all my thoughts on Hamilton. If you guys like this video, make sure you leave it a thumbs up, as well as while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, as I do have a new Cinematically Late every single Thursday, as well as a live show that I'm doing every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, I have new videos coming out all the time, including my Umbrella Academy Season 2 video. That's either out already or upcoming, depending on when this gets released, on Thursday, actually. So we'll find out how quickly I can edit that. But make sure you guys are subscribed for that, as well as I'm doing a giveaway for 300 subscribers. I'll leave the video up here in the corner for you guys to check out. I want to do a giveaway for my 300 subscribers, and give a chance for a giveaway, or a gift card rather, for somebody to be able to purchase digital online movies. Also leave the link to that video up there in the corner. Really, that's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.